These guys have no idea how much trouble it was to forge all those swords. Looks like it really was here.
Huh? What's this about? Who are you?
Primal dragons. Monsters awakened to power beyond Septimas, ascending even adepts. I heard it was bad, but that thing doesn't even look human anymore.
Barging in here like that? Rude. Expediently rude, I say. What in tarnation do you want?
I am Kirin from Shadow Yakumo. I'm here to clean up the mess you made. If you want to leave here alive, I suggest you get out while you still can.
Shadow Yakumo? The ones who control the glaives? Did they figure out that our reply was less than honest? But I must say, we haven't done anything wrong. Without all these glaives, we'd never be able to keep him in check.
The glaives aren't capable of suppressing this much power. It's escaping!
He broke the seal? This never came up in our simulations!
As always, our soothsayer's prediction was right on time. Too on time if you ask me. If we had this prediction sooner, things could have been much less messy. Oh well. Hey you, Lord of Dragons! I'll take that power and bind it properly with my radiant fetters. Your fate is sealed!
Why now? We had no issues for decades!
It was accumulating power beneath the surface the entire time it was sealed away. If you had simply come clean with us, we could have worked together on this. None of this would have needed to happen. Hey, take it easy. I got this. Using my Radiant Fetter Septima, I'll have no problem stopping it. Its power is weakening. Now's my chance!
What happened? I'm not berserk anymore. The glaives were only barely keeping me in check.
Azure Striker Gunvolt, former primal dragon and wielder of the world's most powerful Septima. You must take responsibility for what is about to occur, Gunvolt.
Responsibility? About to occur? Who are you?
I'm Kirin of Shadow Yakumo, and I'm here to borrow your power.
The world changed forever when humans with strange new powers known as Septimas began to appear. As more of these adepts appeared, the world was thrown into chaos. In our country, the Sumeragi group used technology to bring peace and order while seizing power. However, they were only able to maintain that illusory peace through human experiments on countless numbers of adepts. Perhaps it was inevitable that a group of rebels would appear to fight against Sumeragi and their artificial peace. Even I, Gunvolt, once counted myself among the members of a rebel group. The battle was long and grueling. When it was over, I found myself awakened to a new power that was a step above Septimas, the Primal Dragon. Its power is both dangerous and uncontrollable. I surrendered to Sumeragi, my enemy. By using me as a research subject, they were able to seal away the out-of-control power. But
it was only a matter of time before such a shoddily constructed seal would break. Our soothsayer at Shadow Yakumo gave a single prediction just the other day, actually. They said the primal dragons and the ruler who creates and controls them would appear.
you think I'm the ruler of the primal dragons?
Yup, but it's gonna be okay. Because my Radiant Fetter Septima was able to completely seal away your primal dragon. Of course, now we have a new problem on our hands. Sumeragi totally cornered the energy market while you were sealed away. They were using the crazy amounts of energy you were leaking to provide electricity to the entire country. They even called their energy division Gunvolt Electric. They're probably regretting that one now. The energy you gave off was also emitting dragon radiation. That's energy waves that can turn other adepts into primal dragons.
Are you serious?
Just a little exposure doesn't seem to be a problem. That's why no one noticed how dangerous dragon radiation was until now. Many decades have passed since you were sealed away. After all that time being exposed to dragon radiation, primal dragons are starting to appear among the adept population. Gunvolt, you may not have meant to cause this problem, but you will help me solve it. I will have you work with me as I seal away these primal dragons.
No objections here. If this is my sin, I will atone for it. But why exactly have I turned into this dog thing? So, after the fight with Kirin, I briefly returned to my original form, but almost immediately after, I turned into this.
I have no idea either. This is my first time sealing a primal dragon after all. I didn't know my fetters could cause something like this. Maybe it's because you were a primal dragon for so long? It's a good look on you, though. Very cute. Anyway, thanks to our negotiations with Sumeragi, you and I will be joining the Sumeragi group as legitimate employees. Gotta have Sumeragi take responsibility for their actions, right?
The Bureau of Dragon Saviors. An anti-primal dragon task force with just 2 members. I can't believe they agreed to this. Hey, kidding? What gives? I even look like a dog on my company ID!
Oh? That's weird, huh?
You gotta be kidding me.
Hi, Kitty. How's it going? Getting used to life at Sumeragi?
Hey, Lumen. It's pretty amazing here. There's some real state-of-the-art tech that's even nicer than what Shadow Yakumo has. I'm a little jealous.
You know, I'm a part of that state-of-the-art tech, right?
Come on, you're still your own Septima. You're just pretending to be their technology.
That's right. Lumen is the latest model of AI idol developed by Sumeragi. That's what they tell the public, at least. The truth is that she was created by Kirin and I combining our Septimas to make an image pulse. My Azure Striker can give a physical form to images based on memories of adepts I've encountered in the past. However, since adepts themselves are so complex, the image dissipates almost immediately. That's when we use talismans prepared by Kirin's radiant fetters as a medium. The image is then sealed in place, creating an image pulse. Naturally, a recreated Septima is no match for the real thing, but we can still use a variety of septimal powers. There are many kinds of image pulses, such as passive ones that enhance one's abilities, as well as skills that resemble those of the original adept. To acquire an image pulse, we need to find image fragments called image chips during missions. Picking them up will earn us image pulses once the mission is complete. Come to think of it, why don't you try equipping that image pulse we just got? You can equip it by opening the menu and selecting it on the passive image pulse screen. With that equipped, you'll be able to use my Pervasion ability.
Got it. I'll be able to give it a try later. It's so strange, though. Every other image pulse we created hasn't said a thing. Then there's Lumen, acting like she's living and breathing.
I can't be sure of the cause, but for a while, Lumen was a part of me. I was eventually able to release her, but that might have something to do with it.
I guess. She was someone really important to you, right? Maybe that's why.
Anything is possible. I'm sensing something.
Yo, babe. How you doing? You picked a fine day to take your dog for a walk. Why is a cutie like you out all by yourself?
I'll be damned. It speaks. This is very different from your situation, Gunvolt.
Come on now. We were just having a nice chat here. Why you gotta bring up some other dude's name? The name's Black Badge. How about you and me paint the town red on this holy night?
Sorry, I'm not into smooth talkers like you. Besides, you're a wanted man.
Ouch! Total Ice Queen. You're just gonna diss me like that? It's always like that, huh? Nobody gives a damn about me. That's it. I've had it. I'm gonna destroy everything on this holy night. I can't stand any of ya! Listen up, everybody! This is an announcement! Christmas is officially canceled! Hip cats hit the bricks! All you head-turning ladies and gents are in for a rough night! All you happy couples get a ticket for a romantic cruise straight to hell!
This guy's all over the place. He's definitely on dessert, but seems like he might still have a piece of himself.
Has he lost control of his emotions?
You see that?
I see how it is. Totally got turned down for a Christmas date, didn't you? You're like the ultimate buzzkill. Maybe that's why you're still single.
Kidding. The dragon radiation is causing him to go out of control. It's not his fault.
Hey! You're calling out of control! Cool as a cucumber, you handsome jock! I'm gonna beat you senseless until you learn some respect!
Sheesh! You're behind the times, Primal Dragon. My fetters will be the chill pill you...
Now I'm seeing red! Yeah? Procession! I don't need no Messiah! Merry Christmas!
Let's go! Gunvolt! Hidden 90-second run! Divine Ruin Heresy!
Dance, dance! You see that?
Dance for me!
What is this power? It wants me to put Christmas out to pasture once and for all? My pleasure. This is gonna be off the hook.
He revived?
How is that possible? It doesn't matter. I gotta seal it first. How's that?
Sauce! Mega Ultra Palmer!
Was that another Muse Septima like you, Lumen?
No, I can tell it's a different energy from the Muse. The two abilities are pretty similar, but I think this one's a different type.
Is there someone attempting to manipulate the Primal Dragons? I sure hope not.
Dang, my bad. I didn't realize I was crashing here so long.
BB was kept under close observation, but after a thorough inspection, his results were no different from any other normal adept. He also claimed to know nothing about that Septima that resembled the Muse.
I thought you were a real piece of work during our fight, but now you seem like a fine guy.
Wait, for real? Hell yeah. You think I'm fine?
Yeah, sure. You aren't the total ladies' man you think you are, though.
Ouch! Oh, blow! So that's how it is. But, okay, hear me out. Are you guys always dealing with this dragon radiation and primal dragon stuff?
This was actually the first time the Bureau of Dragon Saviors has deployed, but yeah. From here on out, we will be dealing with that stuff. It's part of our duties here. After seeing what the dragon radiation did to the Peacekeepers, I'm sure of one thing. Only I, with my radiant fetters, can seal the power of the primal dragons without succumbing to dragon radiation.
Yeah, I don't vibe with that at all. You two are just gonna work yourselves to death like that? No way! Besides, I got some amends to make. Come on, let me on your team. Thanks to your fetters thing, I shouldn't have another dragon problem, right?
Sure, that's fine. Welcome aboard, Black Badge.
Just like that? You sure about this, Kirin?
There's only so much we can do with just you and me. I'll take any help we can get. If a cat walked in here now, I'd hire them.
Oh hey! I'm even better than a cat! Unless, of course, you need a cat. Meow.
Meow. Actually, the position is filled.
I was just joshing, pulling your leg. Anyway, you two just feel free to call me BB. Let's do this.
Hey, BB, seeing your Septima gave me an idea for a new way to use my fetters.
Hot dang! I actually did you a solid? That's dope!
Yeah, your Septima did at least. I can hold down the button and release it to throw even more powerful talismans.
Hold and release? So your fetters got a charge shot? That seems like it's real handy-dandy.
It's not quite as powerful as that, but I can use it together with regular talismans to take down tough opponents.
Primal dragons are being awakened by dragon radiation. It's because of me that yet another battle is happening.
In the near future, adepts will wipe out humanity. According to Sumeragi's files, the lead researcher on the Septima research project apparently said this decades ago. Maybe that researcher knew something we didn't, that adepts would one day become primal dragons. If that's true, this phenomenon was going to occur anyway, with or without you. You're only at the center of it all because of some dumb bad luck. You got that? Either way, don't stress yourself out over it. We need you for this job because of what you can do, Gunvolt.
Kirin.
But you know, looking at you now, I guess all you can do is sit and shake, huh?
Sheesh. Just whose fault is that again? Damn, more patrol planes are showing up.
That's one of Sumeragi's newest seaplanes, right? Looks like it's already out of control.
I'm sorry.
Hey, how many times do I have to tell you? You don't need to apologize just because you are one factor in the problem. Not everything is your fault, you know? Right now, the world is in danger, and we have a better chance than anyone of doing something about it. We have no time to waste worrying about things and having pity parties for ourselves. You better not forget that.
You're right, Kirin. Thank you.
As long as you understand. Come on, let's clean it up.
Merry Christmas!
Too slow!
Flash Stinger!
Hey! Only authorized personnel are allowed here. What's your name and who's your supervisor?
I'm Kirin, Battle Priestess for Shadow Yakumo, on loan to Sumeragi's Dragon Saviors. I heard there was someone out of control here. As for the authorization, I'll get that later.
Sumeragi? I wasn't informed of this! Have you no respect for proper business etiquette? Paperwork must be submitted months in advance before any outsiders can be allowed entry. Looks like it's now my job to beat some business sense into you. Will your eyes be able to keep up? You can't submit paperwork in triplicate. You can't be trusted in proper society. Before submission, inform the recipient by email, and then confirm the timeline by phone. That's the most basic of basics. Commit it to heart. I'm over here, Stinger. I'll bury you.
Hate to break it to you, but we're a hands-on, in-the-field sort of company, so I couldn't care less about any of that. I can live without that entry level, 5 years of experience needed stuff. I really don't need a family-like atmosphere either.
I don't think that has anything to do with business etiquette.
I can't believe this. Repulsive. You forcing your subordinates to work unpaid overtime? To think the world-famous Sumeragi was fostering such a toxic work environment! A proper work-life balance leads to increased efficiency and a happy workforce. Beyond saving!
I always thought our work environment was pretty good. They even provide room and board.
Room and board? Employees work around the clock!
Adding fuel to the fire, kidding.
With managers like you, who needs competitors? See, there's no reasoning with you. I'm putting you on a performance improvement plan!
Putting aside moral judgments for a moment,
my last resort! Atom Smasher!
Society takes all kinds, you know? Having some amount of flexibility makes all the difference. If you're such a stickler for the rules, my radiant feathers will shake up your world. Your fate is sealed.
This is the end! Where are you looking? Flash! Take this!
Don't give up! Let's go! Gunvolt! Hitting 92nd round. Divine Ruin Heresy! Your turn, GV!
Damn you! Damn it. I'm appalled at how much trouble I caused the innocent people of the city. I, Apollo, sincerely apologize for my actions. To repay you for saving me, I wish to dedicate myself to assisting the Dragon Saviors.
Sure, no problem.
Kidding? Ooh, we got a fresh face? Come on, it's another dude.
Apollo, how about we put you in charge of keeping an eye on the personnel? HR seems like a good fit for you.
Good idea, Kirin. You'd have a tough time keeping track of all the new staff by yourself.
Very well. In that case, I'd like to fast-track some attitude adjustments for the cheeky one. Any objections?
You talking about me?
Looks like we got ourselves a hard worker. Apollo, seeing the way you fight made me want to create a new move of my own.
You have a keen eye, Battle Priestess. What sort of ability have you been practicing?
If I press attack as I reload by pressing down twice quickly, I'll turn invisible and dash, getting myself closer to enemies in an instant.
I see. And this came from watching me?
Yeah, that's right.
Maybe it's not my place to ask, but aren't you playing things a bit loose?
No way! I think everything through.
You know, even though we're both primal dragons, how come I didn't get a Q transformation like Gunvolt did?
You've got a point. I wonder why.
There's still a lot we don't know about primal dragons. The research team hasn't gotten around to researching Dogvolt yet either. But something else caused GV's transformation. He's the ruler of the primal dragons after all. That might have something to do with it.
I gotta admit, at first, I thought Gunvolt was a doggo with a Septima that turned him into a guy.
But he is though.
What? You for real?
Don't fall for it. Kidding. Knock it off with the weird jokes.
You're doing, running around my castle and messing everything up! So you're Shiron. Don't mind us. We're just here to seal your dragon away.
I don't think so. I need this power to make myself more manly.
Hell yeah! Witness the true power of a genius pro gamer!
Round one! Here I come!
I've already gone through all of your movements with my overclock Septima.
Is he controlling those things?
There's no way an arcade would have traps like those.
He must be using the security box to make them.
It's super easy with my overclock. Time to show you two who's boss. You're gonna be easy prey for my traps. No one will make fun of me anymore. Once I beat you two, I'm gonna be the manliest man alive. Hell yeah!
This is so weird. He's still talking like a normal person, but his actions seem totally out of control.
You're right about him being out of control. This can't be his true personality. We have to stop him.
Don't waste your time. I already analyzed all the data I collected on you while you were on your way here. My calculations are never wrong.
Fine then. I'll just seal away those calculations of yours.
And I'll surpass those calculations at the speed of light.
Oversurge, Azure Striker! Short-circuit those calculations with a flash of lightning!
Merry Christmas!
Let's go! Gunvolt! Hidden 90-second road. Divine Ruin Heresy!
My calculations? They're programmed! Brilliant raid! I got you now! Too slow! This is my winning strat! Totally! Take this! Here I am! Game
After returning Shiron to normal, we filled him in on the situation.
Oh, jeez. I'm so sorry for causing trouble.
Don't sweat it. Welcome to the Dragon Saviors. You're one of us now, bud.
Hell yeah! I'll make up for the trouble I caused by working my butt off.
I'm happy to have someone as reliable as you.
What? Hey now, Kieran. That's totally not what you said to me when I joined.
A genius pro gamer like Shiron will be a valuable asset to the team. If you want to earn some respect around here, BB, you should get started on that mountain of paperwork you got piling up.
You run a tight ship, Captain.
I don't think she's asking that much.
Come on, guys! Please don't fight because of me!
Sheesh. This place is about to get even crazier.
I thought of a new sword technique during our mission to save you, Shiron.
You got buffed in the new update. How's life as Battle Priestess Kirin 2.0?
Don't get too carried away. It's not that big of a deal, really.
Well, what's it like?
By holding down and pressing attack in midair, I can perform a spinning slash attack that's effective against enemies on the ground. It'll cause me to descend quickly, so it's not great for racking up kudos, but its attack power is totally worth it.
You know, that reminds me of an attack that recently got nerfed in this fighting game.
This isn't a game, this is real life.
What kind of organization is that Shadow Yakumo you used to work for, Kirin?
Not used to. I still work for them. Even now, I'm a battle priestess of Shadow Yakumo. I haven't left. I've simply been dispatched to Sumeragi. Think of it like being a temp worker.
Huh. So that's how it is. She seems to be proud of her position in this Shadow Yakumo organization.
How should I put this? You know those glaives that were keeping you sealed and the barriers that protect the country? Controlling and overseeing those spiritual or supernatural things and preventing their misuse is Shadow Yakumo's duty. If you go way back, I hear Shadow Yakumo has the same origins as Sumeragi. That was ages ago, though. Nowadays, they're basically like business partners.
They must have a long history then, which makes it all the more surprising I've never heard of them until now.
The shadow in the name is there for a reason. Normally, I would never be operating out in the open like this. That alone should tell you how serious the situation is. This is a national, no, worldwide emergency.
You two must be the ones ruining all the peace and quiet around here.
Huh? That was going to be my line.
It's against my principles to raise a hand against women and children. But even if I want to show mercy, these muscles of mine won't allow it. My muscles, together with my duelist Septima, are gonna waste you. Come on, biceps! Here comes the pump! Let's fight like men!
He's a pretty heated guy.
I know he's totally berserk and all, but maybe we should hear him out a bit.
My soul is trembling, and so are my pecs! I was right to come to this temple to punish my muscles and put the perfect cap on my trade. Every fiber of my massive muscles is twitching with ecstasy after meeting someone as strong as you. This is the true joy of training.
Ever hear of a gym? You should go there instead of a temple if you want to work on your physique.
A man's true path of training leads to a waterfall outside a temple.
I think his head is good for nothing but muscles too.
Yeah, he's the perfect example of a meathead. I mean, it's probably because he went to surf.
You don't like the unrefined way I talk, huh? Right now, all I'm here for is pure man-to-man combat! A collision of souls!
Sorry, but I'm a woman.
My duelist Septima and these muscles I sculpted for many years are a combination without parallel! If something can be destroyed, they will do just that!
Okay, buddy. I'm sick of hearing about muscles. I'm gonna shut that muscle mouth of yours with my fetters. Your fate is sealed.
Smash!
Take this!
You're amazing! Let's settle this in the ring! Let's have some fun, okay? Get a load of this! Diamond Fist! Know your place! Smash!
Too slow!
Get a load of this! Diamond Fist!
You're finished!
I'll smash you! Look here! Take this!
Easy peasy!
Got you! Take this!
Take this!
I'll smash you! My muscles! To lose myself in a rage like that, I, Cayman, will live with this failure forever. I swear on these muscles that I will make amends. Please find a way, any way, for me to be of use.
It wasn't your fault that you went out of control. If anyone's to blame, it's me. But if you still feel that way, you can do good by saving others who are going through the same thing you did.
Gunvolt, you may look like a little puppy, but you have sharp eyes. Those eyes of yours have seen the path of training through to its conclusion. You are a true man. I, Cayman, swear that these muscles will serve you, even should my flesh and bone be ground to dust.
Thank you. We'll be counting on you, Cayman.
Now give it my all. Now, Gunvolt, my muscle brother. An extra manly hug for you.
Too tight. Some warning would be appreciated.
Gunvolt, you have exemplary hamstrings, even for a beast like you.
Hey, kidding. Don't just watch. Help.
Wow, you two really are fast friends. That's great.
A delinquent and his trusty dog. This would make an awesome movie.
Seeing your hand-to-hand fighting style inspired me to come up with a new sword technique, Cayman.
I always say that taking on tough opponents is the best way to improve yourself. So, what's the technique like?
If I hold up and press the attack button on the ground, I can do a jumping attack that's perfect for fighting airborne enemies.
Oh! A drag punch!
Whoa, you can't just say that.
That concludes our record of the incident that occurred in the aforementioned country we obtained through Layla's Septima.
Thanks for the report, Sistina. You and Layla must have put in long hours gathering all that information. Now that these primal dragons have appeared, we can't just sit by and watch. I have a feeling this is that child's handiwork. It would be so much easier if Sumeragi would just open up and share their info and tech with other countries.
Holding exclusive technology regarding Septimas grants them a significant advantage over other countries. Sumeragi would never give that up.
So we'd just be wasting time trying to cooperate, and we don't have that kind of time to spare.
Our investigations of the primal dragons revealed that Layla's Djinn can control them while they are weakened or unconscious.
Which means we have our trump card. Now we just need to get to that child. If we hope to get anything done, we need to get a move on. Layla, can you sense it? The Child of Hope's location?
How shall we proceed? Sumeragi's barriers are unparalleled. It will be near impossible to enter the country through them.
We have our new APF warheads, don't we? They should have no trouble with any barriers.
I should have known you already had a plan. I will have the missiles deployed post-haste.
Thanks, Sistina. I'll inform the research team myself.
My pleasure. All glory to Prince Zed's magnificent plan.
Hey everyone! We've got big trouble here! I'm detecting 5 missile launches! And they're heading toward our borders!
Missiles? Isn't the entire country protected by a huge barrier?
Well, it looks like the missiles have already slipped right past it!
Are you friggin' kidding me?
The border guard is trying to intercept them. This strange force field appears to be diverting all attacks.
That force field might be the same thing that allowed them to pass the barrier.
Shiron, are you able to calculate the coordinates of the missiles in real time?
Hell yeah! That shouldn't be a problem for my Septima. But what are you planning to do?
I once encountered an adept who could turn their body into electronic data, allowing them to warp over distances. I've never tried it myself, but with those coordinates, my Azure Striker should be capable of the same thing.
You want to just try that out now? For the first time? On top of some missiles?
Those missiles are traveling at an extremely high speed. Even if you were able to warp as you say, any slight miscalculation in the coordinates would be a hell of a workers' comp claim.
You don't have to worry about that. I have total confidence in Shiron. After that, it will all be up to me.
No pressure or anything. I'll still do it though.
I'll go with you then. You can do that, right? Just one more person shouldn't be a problem.
I make no promises that this'll work.
If you went by yourself and ended up going primal, no one would be there to stop you. Besides, you'll be fine, right, GV? Just leave the rest up to me.
Got it. Thank you, Keating. The rest of you, assist Shiron however you can.
Bad news, guys! There's 5 missiles headed towards us!
We don't have much time. I've never done this before, but I'll have to use my Azure Striker to turn our bodies into electricity and warp to them. Shiron, I'm counting on you for those coordinates.
Hell yeah! Thank goodness! Looks like the warp went without a hitch.
Your Azure Striker really can do anything. Makes me want to give you a hard time about it.
Please don't. Honestly, outside of an emergency like this, I would rather not do that ever again. It was really nerve-wracking.
You gotta be kidding me! What are they doing on a missile?
Listen up, Sumeragi Price. This is as far as you go.
Oh, really? I was just about to tell...
You should be able to get inside from there.
No way! They're inside the missile too?
I don't even want to think about how they managed to figure out our totally What is that?
That seems to be the device that's generating the force field I mentioned earlier. I analyzed it with my Septima, and as far as I can tell, that missile contains no nuclear or incendiary payload. It's seemingly designed to expand the force field from that device to damage its target.
Meaning that if we destroy it, the missile should be completely neutralized.
Looks like it. Let's get to it.
The device is no longer operational. Now, hurry to the next missile!
Stop there! Take this!
The next missile is closing in. Should be able to jump across now. It's still... Looks like the boosters are unlocked! Hurry up before they complete! The boosters are detecting one after another! We really need to hurry up!
Stop there!
Alright, we found the field generator.
2 down! Time to head to the next missile! This one's even further away than the last one! Make sure you don't slip and fall! The boosters are detaching again! Move your butt and get out of there!
So that's what they call cutting it close.
Doesn't look like we'll be able to go any further on the outside. We'll need to find the head from the inside.
Only 2 missiles to go! We don't have much more time till they touch down! Hurry! The next missile is approaching, but it's still even further than the other. The boosters are all approaching together! Always the second getting out of there!
Take this!
We made it to the head. The field generator isn't here.
Easy peasy! Only 1 missile left! You got this! Just a bit more!
You came all the way here to welcome us. My, this is such an honor.
Who's there?
Ah! How'd it get so bright all of a sudden?
Is all of this your doing?
My Septima is rather impressive, isn't it? Pleased to make your acquaintance. I am Zed, leader of Atems.
Atems? Is that the name of your organization?
Correct. I believe you are part of Sumeragi's Bureau of Dragon Saviors, was it? Thanks to one of our members, Septima. Our Djinn was able to track your activities.
That Djinn Septima. Is that the same type as me?
Don't tell me. That's the power that could revive the primal dragons?
Oh my. Please accept my apologies for that. That was an experiment of ours, as part of our research into the primal dragons.
An experiment? Research?
We were just making their rampages worse.
I can understand why you'd be upset. But now that we're done with introductions... let's talk about that power of yours. I'd like to measure it in real time, in the midst of battle. Let the bout begin! I know all about you, Gunvolt. You're Sumeragi's renowned, all-powerful Azure Striker. Just so you know, my Golden Trillion is no slouch either.
Golden Trillion? It looks like a fire
Over here! Not quite. My Golden Trillion is closer to that which illuminates all, a Septima of the sun. Out of the way!
It can't be. Power of the nuclear fusion?
Now, time to leave the nest! Wings of Death! A brilliant light from which one must avert their eyes. The golden dawn of a trillion suns. Will you be able to look straight on?
The light of a trillion suns? Big talker, aren't you?
Over
you don't
here.
even hold up to one sun, let alone a trillion. You
Wings
can
of
talk it
death.
up if you want, but a septima is a septima. And my radiant feathers will lock it down. Your fate is sealed.
Excellent. I like your assertiveness. However, you'll find that it's not so easy to seal up the path to the future we've chosen. Illuminate the world, Golden Trillion! Shine upon our righteous path! Time to leave the nest! Focus low! Out of the way! Burn to ash! Focus low! Lux, Ballista! Over here! Stinger! Well done! Focus low! Take flight! Here I come! Look alive!
Easy peasy.
Now, time to leave the nest! Over here! Lux, Ballista! Out of the way! Great! You know how to entertain me! Over here! My little ones! Light the skies! How's this? Merry Christmas! Here I come!
I'll smash
Focus
you!
low!
Flash Stinger!
Ballista! Over here! Burn to ash! Focus low! My little one, light the skies!
Easy peasy. Finished.
You're stronger than I thought. Wonderful. I knew you would be strong. I expected nothing less from the former primal dragon and his companion.
What are you trying to accomplish by launching these missiles?
Well, about that. First, let me clear up your misunderstanding. This isn't a missile. It's just a means of transport. Though it is made from a missile, so I guess you're half right.
Means of transport?
This country is protected by a powerful barrier, so this was the only way we could break through. I'll admit it makes for a rather violent entrance, but we needed to enter the country by any means necessary. My associates should have already disembarked from their transports at this point. Now, I could explain exactly why we're here, but I wouldn't want you to get in our way. Either way, you'll understand soon enough. I'll be seeing you.
Hold it!
Later!
He's gone. He said he's with attempts. What in the world are they up to?
I know it's not a real missile, but we should stop that field generator just in case. Sure. What's up?
Can I just give you a little hug?
What?
Okay, here I go. Ah, so fluffy! Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? You know, Gunvolt, I bet if you were a Shiba Inu, you'd be purple.
Come on, enough with the petting! Also, wait for my permission before you hug me.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I got carried away.
Please think...
I totally get it, Shiron.
Not you too, kidding. And just for the record, there's no such thing as a purple Shiba, okay?
I feel like I've heard that somewhere before.
Cayman, looking at how you dress, I'm guessing you're still a student?
Nah, I just simply dress as any true man should. I haven't been to school in a while. My muscles would just wither away in a place like that.
Uh-huh.
What about you, Kieran? You still go to school?
I've already finished my schooling at essentially a high school level. You could say I skipped a few grades. Shadow Yakumo is an organization that supports the country from the shadows. They have some extra legal systems in place.
Extra legal? That sounds almost as powerful as my muscles.
Actually, even more powerful.
Excellent! I will train even harder, so my muscles can get extra legal!
It's that mech from before. It's still here?
I don't think it'll let us pass without a fight.
I'm not letting some chump robot stand in our way.
Watch your feet. That thing can burrow in the sand and attack us from below. Now we can finally get inside the base.
I'm so glad we made it before the sun went down.
Whoa! Looks like y'all went and found me.
And you are?
My apologies. Mr. Zeddy really wanted this here Biden brand is all.
Since you're not from here, you might not know this, but that's a very important relic for our country. It's not something you can just come and take.
Dang, I should have known. I don't suppose I could just bring it back when we're done with it?
No frickin' way!
Do you think we just leave an important relic in the hands of people who illegally entered the country with a bunch of missiles?
Ain't that just the pits? Y'all are gonna make me get serious. The name's Grazie. You and me are gonna settle this for good. Get down to business. This is for Mr. Zeddy.
Her Septima can control sand.
I hate to admit it, but it's got amazing power.
Y'all ain't seen nothing yet. I'm really gonna let you have it now.
Zeddy trusted her to carry out this mission. Don't let your guard down, kitty.
Don't you copy me? Ain't right you're here. Too slow. Take this.
Stinger!
Time for the real deal. Sandstorm Emperor! Loser! Take this! Y'all gone and done it! Now I gotta go all out!
Power armor. Made of sand?
How do you like that? Y'all look real itty-bitty from up here!
Has no one ever told you the bigger they are, the harder they fall?
Hush, Missy. I'm gonna squish y'all like a bunch of bugs.
Personality did a total 180. Is the fighting brand making her go berserk?
Jeez, your super special transformation has got you acting like a mean drunk. Just hand over the binding brand already.
You just I'm blowing everything away! Doom Demon Disaster! And take it from me. This here armor can take a bunker buster and keep on ticking.
The bunker was made of sand that could repair itself. Wouldn't be a problem. Still,
These fetters will break down your impregnable sand fortress. Your fate is sealed.
You think you can dodge this? How you like that? Too slow. You think you can dodge this? How you like this?
Easy peasy.
Flash Stinger!
This is not the end.
That's some mighty fine power flowing through me. Y'all are really done for now.
it's that Djinn again.
Too slow. You think you can dodge this? Easy peasy. How you like this? Take this.
Let's go! GB! Hidden 90-second run. Divine Ruin Heresy! After performing a Resem slash by holding down and pressing attack in the air, I can now power it up by quickly pressing the attack button again. I'll descend even faster, so it's useful when I need to land in a hurry to dodge an attack or take advantage of an opening.
You can catch an enemy off guard by rapidly falling and striking them down swiftly. It's the perfect ability for an assassin.
Just who is the assassin here? We managed to drive away the Atem's adept, but they still managed to get away with one of the binding brands.
Don't let it get to you, Kirin. Even with one of the brands missing, things should be fine for now, remember?
You're right, but... we still have no idea what they want to do with the brands.
It's not like you to sulk like this. Chin up. We'll just have to go out there and do something about it.
Yeah.
What is it? Why are you laughing?
Oh, I was just thinking to myself, dang, Apollo is such a nice guy.
What? Are you making fun of me?
Huh? I was just complimenting you.
Shiron, the dragon radiation data from these coordinates.
Oh, you're right. They've exceeded the nominal value. Hold on a sec.
Hearing just that was enough to get Shiron to pull up the terrain data and an atmospheric diagram in an instant. Shiron filters through the immense amount of data on his screen to find the right coordinates.
As of 2 hours and 13 minutes ago, measurements of dragon radiation at multiple points were elevated in pockets moving through the atmosphere. When separating them out, it seems the individual sources are likely at nominal levels. So I don't think there's an issue.
I see.
However, when compared to the average, the general area does have elevated amounts of radiation. It may be good to dispatch a survey team just in case. I'll make a report of the location. Do you need anything else? Should we procure any equipment or vehicles in preparation for dispatch?
No, I think this is enough. Good work, Shiron. I'll leave the rest to Kirin's judgment.
Hell yeah! If you notice anything else, be sure to let me know. I'll get right on it.
Of course. I'll be counting on you.
I see Sumeragi's adepts have finally graced us with their presence.
An Atem's ambush?
Just when I was wondering who would be foolish enough to challenge Prince Zed. Who would have guessed it would be the once mighty Azure Striker on a leash held by a little girl? Is Sumeragi really so strapped for talent?
Say what you will about Sumeragi, but I won't let you talk that way about Shadow Yakumo's battle priestesses!
You invaded our country, and now you're stealing our relics. Your barbaric acts have gone on long enough. We will put an end to this.
An order from Prince Zed is the same as a decree from heaven. The likes of you have no say in the matter. If you insist on interfering, then Miss Sistina will have to teach you exactly how foolish you really are. Everything is for the glory of Zed. I'll turn you into Swiss cheese! We brought a sword to the gunfight, did we? I'll bring down Sumeragi with my power alone!
I already told you I'm with Shadow Yakumo! Well, whatever. I'm not gonna let you get away with this that easily.
I don't give a damn who you work for. The fate of this world has always rested in the palm of Prince Zed's hand. All humanity will bow down under Atem's rule. As Prince Zed's secretary, it is my destiny to serve him for life. I will not allow even a stray pebble to get in the way of his plans.
The world can't be ruled by one man alone. You're only asking for disaster by fighting for such an extreme ideal.
I won't be lectured by slaves for the corporation that monopolized the glades. Thames will make good use of this power.
The world would fall into lawless chaos if the glaives were freely distributed. We'll never let you use that power.
Order can only be achieved when power is gathered under the true ruler. All glaives exist to be given to Prince Zed.
How about this? Too slow! You can't escape! Is there seriously no limit to how brazenly awful you can be? I'm really gonna have to smash you through! These fetters will snap your revolver of delusion! Your fate is sealed!
How about this? Know your place!
Merry Christmas!
I'll finish you! Relentless libido! I'll pulverize you! This'll blow you away!
Stinger!
Got you!
How about this? You can't escape! Love bullet! Follow them to the ends of the earth! Dance for me! Dance for me! Come on now! Dance for me! Prince Zed, please forgive me! This isn't over yet!
If I press attack a moment after reloading by pressing down twice quickly, my E-Send dash will power up. I'll still disappear and dash, but with an added slashing attack on top. I can still only use it on the ground though.
An invincible attack with a massive hitbox that crosses up the opponent? That's gonna get nerfed for sure.
I thought I told you, this isn't a game.
Shiron and Apollo are playing a fighting game together, and it seems like a close match.
Dang, Apollo! You've really been putting some hours in, haven't you?
I don't need to answer that. Got you!
No way!
A few minutes later, Shiron's character stands victorious after a narrow win.
That was a good fight, though I honestly have no idea what happened.
It looked like Shiron read Apollo's movements to come from behind at the last moment. I've seen Shiron play against others around the company, but I've never seen anyone else put up such a tough fight.
That was so close. How did you get so good at this, Apollo?
I once dabbled in such games to prepare for a mission. Still, I'm not surprised to have lost against a proper professional.
It's been so long since I've had a close match. Hell yeah! That was so much fun! Let's play again sometime, Apollo!
Okay. If I have some free time.
Wait, what mission?
Found you a Thames brand burglar. Hand it over right now.
Oh my. What's the matter, little kitten? Are you lost? Ah, I see now. You must have come to witness the magnificent Prado's glorious victory with your own eyes. Welcome, welcome!
What's your deal?
Be on your guard, Kirin. I can sense that she is no normal adept.
You honor me with your praise, Azure Striker. My Septima is hot and cold. A rare breed born of two innocents together in pure paradox.
A Septima with two elements?
Precisely! Inside this power lies potential that the Azure Striker or even my exalted Sir Zed does not possess. That's why I alone have the power to bring about the new world order. I shall present you on a plate for my lord. Ha! Little kitten, it's time for our duel. Allow me to properly introduce myself. I am the Dual Knight, Prado, member of the Attends Knights. I claim this binding brand under orders from the exalted Sir Zed.
When you call yourself a knight, you shouldn't be invading other countries just to cause problems.
A nation's laws are absolutely nothing before the glory of our noble cause, little kitten.
Noble cause, huh? What exactly is Attends after?
Stay calm, Kirin. This is my first time fighting an adept with a Septima like this, too. There's no telling what she can do.
Prudent, aren't you, Azure Striker? Cautioning your partner while heeding your enemy. You could learn a thing or two from him, little kitten.
We got this, Kirin. No matter what Attends is trying to do. As long as we stay together, we can stop them.
Gunvolt! What a wonderful display of camaraderie. It's almost enough to make me jealous. But that's exactly what makes this fight so exquisite. Now, how about you?
I don't need any praise from you. Oversurge, Azure Striker! This roaring thunder will draw the curtains on your opera of fire and ice!
Stay with me! Freeze over! You're quite the fighter! Now for my specialty! Waltz of twin elements! Flash Stinger! Mix it up! Electric fire and ice! Time for the curtain call! Here I go! Arise! I'll run you through! Fall apart! Boil over!
Too slow!
I'll run you through!
Got you! You're finished!
How magnificent! That's it for tonight!
By holding up and pressing the attack button in midair, I can now perform the Tensho slash I learned earlier, even when I'm off the ground. While it's useful for extending my airtime, it's a bit less powerful than normal due to the lack of stable footing.
Kirin, if it's airtime you want, you can always take flight with your boy BB.
You want me to treat you like a chain lamp?
What's gotten into you? Oh, is it about the Binding Brand seal? You must feel it as well. Things must be proceeding smoothly. Even if my knights keep losing to that bureau, I've already accounted for it. While my knights are keeping them distracted, I've been able to work without interruption. You should rest while you can, Layla. You've been supporting the knights with intelligence gathered by your Septima this whole time, haven't you? What am I going to do with you? Sorry, just hang in there a little longer. We will soon be able to open the path to the Child of Hope. Then, we will finally be able to reach.
Sensei! Geez, Sensei, you're so cool!
What's gotten into you all of a sudden? Sensei?
Hell yeah! I want to be a manly man just like you! That style, that manliness! Sensei, you're exactly the man I strive to be! Please, let me call you Sensei.
You can call me whatever you want, but don't be mistaken. I'm still in training too.
Yay! Thank you, Sensei!
If he's gonna call me Sensei, I better start acting like one. Now, where to begin if we're gonna turn Shiron into a manly man?
You there! We've got you now! Put back the Binding Brand!
Hmm? Who are you? I'll ask you not to speak to me like that. So you're with Sumeragi. Good work getting here, I guess.
The Binding Brands are part of this country's foundation. We won't allow you to do what you please with them.
Oh, the country's foundation, huh? All the more reason for us to take them.
What do you mean?
Pitiful. I don't care if you get it or not. It's got nothing to do with you, fools. Now, let's see. I could just blow you all away, but it would be a shame to lose that exquisite sample you brought with you. My name is Serpentine. Let's see how much power this brand has packed inside it. Dust to dust. I prefer the cover of mist.
The two of you get along so peachy. Starting to tick me off, you know? Phoebe, Bodacious Babe told me all about it.
Is this to your
Fed up playing house with the two of you.
What are you even talking about? You were just fine a minute ago.
Looking at the dragon is your friends! Adepts should not live like this! If you and GB do what Lady Serpentine says, I'm sure she can save you as well.
You too, Shiron.
GB, wait a second. Phoebe is whatever, but Shiron shouldn't even be here. This must be some kind of trick.
Even if they're illusions, they're still your teammates. Will he be able to overcome your emotions? They may be fake, but the trauma is real. Come, listen to their deepest grudges, their screams of cruelty. I'll even use their regrets to torment you.
Those illusions were created from our memories? We need to end this quickly.
Slaughter you! Is this to
Don't
your
be hasty,
taste?
GB. All we need to do is take back that brand. These fetters will
Over
clear
here,
the fog of
maybe?
your corrupt illusions. Your fate is
Sorry.
sealed.
How about there? Is this to your taste? Sorry.
Diamond Fist!
Tear them to pieces. Is this to
pace.
For the kill!
Tear them to pieces!
Flash Stinger!
Oh, sorry.
I'll smash you!
I'll protect you!
Slaughter you! Sorry. Tear them to pieces! Oh, back there. Is this to your taste? Oh, back there. This can't be. Time for my secret art. Mystic Mandala. Yate.
Flash Stinger!
Prepare your souls! Farewell! It is done.
For the kill!
Easy.
Tear them to pieces! Sorry! Tear them to pieces!
For the kill!
Over here, maybe? Is this to your taste? I'll waste you! I'll slaughter you! Oh, sorry! I'll waste you! Is this all I could do? Oops. I played around too long.
Now if I keep holding the button down, I can throw even stronger talismans than before. It takes a bit of time to charge up my fetter's power, so it's best to store it ahead of time in case a strong enemy shows up.
Excellent! It's just like the Shinku!
Cayman, stop right there!
It's so good to see you all. I'm overjoyed you were able to meet me here safely.
Prince Zed, at last we are together!
You all have achieved fantastic results. I knew my knights were up to the task.
Happy to be of service.
It was a trivial challenge.
With this, we have now acquired all of the binding brands. The path to the Child of Hope is now open. My plan has reached its finale. Grazie, Layla, you may begin.
Roger that, boss. Here we go!
Oh, what's going on? I'm dizzy, and my head feels like it's splitting open.
What's that sound? A song?
It's like the noise is directly inside my head, and I can feel my consciousness fading.
What is this? A Septima? It's just like my power. I don't have time to think about this.
Lumen's song. It's neutralizing the noise and canceling it out.
The noise stopped. Did Lumen pull this off?
Is everyone all right?
Ouch. I'll be okay.
I'm okay for the moment.
All of Sumeragi's adepts have collapsed, except for the Dragon Saviors. What's going on here?
I'm sorry. It took everything I had just to protect our group.
Don't be sorry, Lumen. Thank you. You saved us.
Shirin, look at this. I think this is what caused it.
Shiron's pointing to a terminal showing a news program. It's showing a picture of the huge UTU media tower, now covered in a massive amount of sand that's transforming it into some strange castle.
That song just now seems to have been broadcast from the media tower. Or castle, I guess.
According to the report, a large number of adepts are currently in a catatonic state due to the song that was just broadcast.
Damn it. Thames must be behind this. They must have used the power of that Djinn. I can't believe they were able to use the media tower to amplify it like that.
And what's up with that fortress? Are they trying to lure us over there with that enormous thing?
Even if we end up walking into a trap, we have no choice but to go. They could unleash another song at any time.
We get to storm the palace in this day and age? Oh, my muscles are pumped!
It's not the most prudent plan of action, but desperate times, as they say. Shiron, keep up support on the comms.
Hell yeah! Leave it to me!
Dragon Saviors, move out!
Welcome, little kitten. And you too, Azure Striker. I never once doubted you two would make it here.
Ugh, not again. Sorry, but we really don't have time to play games with you.
Ha! What's the rush, little kitten? If you can't spare a little time, you're already in trouble.
Chibi, I really can't deal with this one. Can we just... not?
We can't allow her to interfere with our mission later on. It's time to finish this, kidding.
Ugh, you have a point.
Ha! That's absolutely right! Don't worry, you'll only need to accompany me for this one dance, my little kitten.
Grr.
Now it's time to finish this! First things first, I'd like to commend you. You've already outdone yourselves in making it this far in your fight against the Thames. Sadly, that opposition will have to end here, because it is I who stands before you.
Your Septima is undoubtedly powerful, but it's still no match for me and Kidding's combined power.
Such wonderful repartee, Azure Striker. Now let's hear your witty reply, little kitten.
As long as I'm with GB, no one can stand in our way.
Ha ha ha! Bravo, my kitten! Bravo! Your duet is sure to make my opera a resounding success. And naturally, the finale won't be complete without our spectacular duel.
I'm afraid your role is finished before the final act. I'll make sure you leave the stage long before then.
You're quite demanding. Of course, and now for my specialty. Waltz of twin elements! It always honors a challenge. I will make sure my comeback is dramatic.
How exactly did you get so full of yourself?
Oh my! The other knights all praise me in the same way. I'm afraid our fun little dialogue will have to end here. None of us came here to make friends, after all.
There is so much wrong with that. I don't even know where to start. These fetters will shatter your double-edged blade of pride and self-satisfaction. Your fate is sealed.
Such a splendid show! That's it for tonight!
What are you two doing here?
I'm back from hell, Gunvolt!
We followed a faint light back here, so we could finally slaughter you.
Huh? Who are these punks? Some of Atemza's B-team?
They're a couple of Sumeragi adepts I put down in the past. They weren't exactly upstanding employees either.
From where we're sitting, you're the one who's always been out of line, Gunvolt.
Seeing you wearing Sumeragi's crest like this. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. My blade of light shall purge you and your sins from this world.
This must be an illusion created from my memories by an Atem's adept.
Oh, I bet it's that bogus monk lady. In that case, I can just knock these two right back to where they came from.
Ha! Looks like these punks have no idea who they're messing with, huh, Jota?
You former traitors have much to learn. Our justice will bring about a new world order under the one true ruler. This is truly outrageous. The man who once betrayed his country for the sake of a single person now stands on the opposite side.
As the times change, so must we. I only did what was necessary.
But you've never been able to protect anything, have you? Your home, yourself, with all your lovely little Jewel. If I had been able to protect Jewel from you back then, the future would have looked real different.
No, I'll cut you down. That's not true.
It's strange, you're doing what you can right now. If you let your past control you, you won't be able to change the present.
Oh? Already found yourself a new girl? Playboys like you never quit, huh?
Nothing new for the former traitor. Those without true conviction are always swayed by whatever dances before them.
I love kicking some sense and now I'm pissed!
Allow me to end this.
Incandescent
Blade!
The self-centered dumbasses who always jump onto the hot new thing!
You're not qualified to defend your motherland. I'll send you to the grave at the speed of light.
Jeez, these illusions get so worked up. GP, looks like you're about ready to say goodbye to these old regrets.
Yeah, I'd say so. I have a duty to complete this mission right here and now.
Yeah, that's the spirit. I knew I could count on you, partner.
Oversurge, Azure Striker! My lightning will pierce the fog and send these memories back into the depths where they belong! Die, die, die!
I'll cut you down.
Last stinger!
Fall to shreds.
I'll crush you!
Too slow!
Zonda and Tenjian. We have to deal with Eden too?
I lovingly long for this day, Gunvolt.
Imagine my surprise at meeting you again. I never dared to dream of this moment.
Eden? Wasn't that organization dissolved ages ago? Guess these are more of your memories, GV?
They must be. Looks like it's the same trick again. These two may be even more trouble than the last ones, Keating.
I always kinda knew, but now I know for sure that you faced off against some real pieces of work.
Shameless fools. You are not worthy to bear Sumeragi's crest. Ruffians like you could never appreciate our shared ideals.
Come now, it's not too late. Let's eliminate humanity and create a garden of love for just us adepts. It's so lovely to see you again, Gunvolt. We are truly loved by the winds of fate.
It is surely some cruel fate that entwines us. Were you not content crushing our ideals the first time?
I have no regrets.
You truly beggar belief. Is that the face of a man with no regrets? Your regrets permeate your entire being. Even more so than before. Just how many radiant souls have you crushed? How much despair have you left in your wake to get to this point?
These illusions don't know when to shut up. It's true that the old Gunvolt may have been a real bastard, but that Gunvolt is still here, putting his life on the line for everyone's sake. I won't stand here and let some cheap illusion talk about him like that.
What do we have here? Such a lovely young lady. My heart is suddenly all aflutter.
Were you even listening?
Bonjour, mademoiselle. Je t'aime. Why don't you two come with me and we can make some real love?
Damn perv! Do something, TV!
I'm not about to beg for forgiveness now.
Zonda! Together, my brother! Wonder Ice Prison!
Keep doing what I think is right.
Freeze down to your soul.
Keating showed me the path I needed to take. I'm a new person after meeting Keating and the others. The Gunvolt who would fall for your tricks is no more.
Oversurge! Azure Striker! My righteous lightning will crash across your false garden of temptation!
Get ready!
Let's go! GB! Hidden 90-second run! Divine Ruin Heresy! Finally found you, you pretend priest!
So you have. I'm surprised you managed to repel my illusions. I was quite proud of how realistic they came out this time.
Unfortunately for you, the Azure Striker could never be defeated by mere shadows of the past.
I was hoping to finally rid myself of that sex-obsessed sycophant, but it seems I'll have to change my plans.
Plans? I have no idea what you're plotting, but I hope you're ready to get pulverized!
I have no intention of handing Prince Zed over to the likes of you. This will be your final destination. I won't let you through here. I will be the one to put an end to Prince Zed.
What are you talking about?
Exactly as I said. Prince Zed is still my prey.
Still? I thought you were supposed to be one of Zed's knights.
You see, I once failed an attempt to assassinate Zed.
What?
In that moment, as I went to end my own life in shame, Prince Zed restrained me and ordered me to join a team. Of course, I had no intention of joining. The most wonderful thing happened. Prince Zed himself said, "You're welcome to try and kill me whenever you wish." Was this to your taste? My ecstasy in that moment. Words could never do it justice. He desired my talent so badly he would stake his own life on it. Naturally, the only way I could possibly ever repay Prince Zed is to take his life.
So the reason you wanted to engage us in battle before was so you could access my memories to make powerful pawns to advance your own scheme?
Exactly right. I'll use whatever memories I can.
Let's go! GB! Hidden 90-second run. Divine Ruin Heresy!
No matter whose they are, everything is for the sake of time for my secret art! Mystic Mandala! Of hunting my prey.
What a twisted bodyguard. But you are the only one who isn't giving up. My fetters will sever your twisted bond between master and servant. Your fate is
Prepare
sealed.
your souls! Farewell! It is done. Scary.
Too slow. Easy peasy.
This can't be happening! Oops. I played around too long.
Case of energy drinks at the ready. Let's go! Hell yeah! Howdy, y'all.
Howdy?
I knew you'd show up eventually. Sorry, but could you let us past here?
No can do. Us here at Thames Knights are Mr. Zeddy's last line of defense. Gotta share some of Sistina's load, too.
If you insist on standing in our way, I won't show you any mercy.
I got way better at controlling this here vitamin brand since y'all last saw me. You're really gonna get it this time. This one's for Mr. Zeddy. I got nothing against y'all personally, but there's just some things you can't give up on.
I still have no idea what Thames is after, but any plan that treats people like objects has no future here.
Even then, I'll always believe in Mr. Zeddy. He said he needed me, so I'll always be his.
Time for the real deal.
Y'all got me rip-roaring mad now! What? Y'all just keep running your mouths and sing together dang well, please! Ain't no way I can just sit by and listen! Just what did Mr. Zeddy ever do to y'all? All he ever did was care too much about the future, I tell you what!
Everything you do is just too extreme! Your methods won't earn you anything but grudges!
GB, are you even listening to yourself? What in tarnation are we supposed to do then?
Y'all won't listen to the dang things we say! Y'all got nobody to blame but yourselves! Get ready for the whooping of your lives!
Your thinking is just too simple. Future is something you make together with other people. We all have a duty to help, even us.
Y'all just keep standing up there and make all the noise you want. Won't be some jamming with this here sand down your throat. Get ready for Mr. Zeddy's blowing everything away! Doom Demon Disaster! Future!
She's
you got out of here.
She's determined to do what Zed wants. Fortunately, we've got no way to stop her rampage other than bringing her down.
The Surge, Azure Striker! Lightning, master of all creation! Raise this fortress of sand to the ground!
You think you can dodge this? How you like this? Let's go! GB! Hidden 90-second run! Divine Ruin Heresy! I just can't believe this! You're gonna regret this!
Now wait just a minute. Did her illusions accomplish nothing at all? How did Sumeragi's forces make it this far? Ugh, I can't believe those other knights!
Aw, too bad. This is what you get when you're up against GV and me.
You cheeky little... While there is still no chance our plan will fail, your continued existence is indeed cause for concern. This time, I'm gonna turn you into Swiss cheese! I'll gladly give my life!
It's nothing personal, but we're going to stop your Prince Zed's plans once and for all.
Know your place, little girl. You have no right to speak Prince Zed's name. You have the boldness to take on whole countries for the sake of the people. And the talent to power those in power. Only he is suited to rule the world as its king.
King of the world? The only world that can be ruled by a single person is a dystopia.
All idle nations rules like this. Your never-ending dictator is the ideal ruler. You can find the proof in history itself.
I'm sure there are some countries where that may be true. But there's no guarantee a benevolent dictator will stay benevolent. And even Zed is not immortal. Power always corrupts eventually.
There's no way that will happen. A suitable heir will be born, and the world will remain in harmony forever. How you ask? Well, I will bless the world, Prince Zed's child, and become the queen of this new era. What? Perfect angelic face. My carnal desire for him cannot be contained. Oh, my Prince Zed! I'll now finish you. Relentless libido. Never let any of the other knights have you. Even Copernicus and Galileo are in autonomy before us. I will give every fiber of my being to you!
Take life under this roof. None of you.
You can adore Zed as much as you want. That nonsensical world in your imagination stands no chance of surviving. Oversurge, Azure Striker!
Infinite blue lightning! Pierce the deep red of this crooked infatuation!
Take this!
Dance for me! Come on now! You're finished! Easy peasy! Dance for me! You're finished! Too slow! Dance for me! Prince Zed! I love you! This isn't over yet!
too powerful signals. No. See?
Shiron?
They're jamming our comms.
Welcome. How do you like our Sunrise Palace?
You seem awfully calm. What do you hope to achieve after going to all this trouble?
You came at the right time. We just finished bringing him over from the Futures Institute of Technology.
The Futures Institute of Technology? That's where I was sealed away.
Indeed. The path was open thanks to my associates removing the binding brands. You seem to be under the impression that Gunvolt is the ruler of the Primal Dragons. However, Gunvolt was not the only one who was sealed away in that facility. There was a secret room hidden by a powerful barrier. We needed to remove the binding brands in order to break that seal. You all really should have been more suspicious of Sumeragi.
You're saying that someone else is the true ruler?
Precisely. He's on the top floor, right above here. It's only polite that I take you to meet him. Layla, wait here a moment. I'll be right back.
What the...
This little one is Moebius, the true ruler of the Primal Dragons.
The true ruler?
Unlike you, who awakened to your power, this one was born a Primal Dragon. No, something beyond Primal Dragons and Septimus. He has attained an Octima. He is truly the child of hope for us adepts.
An Octima? What's going on? What is this energy? Is it dragon radiation? No, it's even stronger.
Fascinating. As the original Primal Dragon, it appears that you are attuned to him.
Damn! What? What was that?
GV, are you okay?
Your Primal Dragon minds are resonating. It appears you received a vision. Moebius's Astral Order ability allows him to see innumerable fates and choose one of his liking. In other words, he has the power to determine the future. For now, the Glaives are keeping his power sealed away, but it allows him to manipulate probability to bend fate towards any possible future. This impacts every square inch of our world. Should this little one wish for a fate of chaos and disorder, just what would become of this world? And should he suddenly awaken as a Primal Dragon, dragon radiation would be released across the world, transforming countless adepts into Primal Dragons. In either case, the world would be on the path to total destruction. His power could never be entrusted to Sumeragi, which is why we will take control of him before he awakens. That is Atem's goal. Recently, we were able to confirm that Layla's Djinn is able to influence Moebius in his sleeping state and control his astral order. Even with Moebius under our control, we won't be able to prevent Primal Dragons from awakening en masse. However, we will be able to guide this little one into using his astral order to create a more ideal world, even if only slightly.
Your words are no different than Sumeragi's old rants. We'll never let you use Moebius to bend the world to your will!
Don't you dare compare us to you lot. We merely wish to work with Moebius to guide the world along its proper path.
I hear what you're saying, but in the end, your ideal world is one with you as its ruler. You can make it sound as noble and righteous as you want, but the future of the entire world should not be determined by one man's ego. Even if you make an ideal world with Moebius, it won't be a world where anyone but you gets a say in those ideals.
I take it you won't be cooperating then? I honestly never expected you to truly understand our mission. You will understand once you bask in the light of our glorious future. After all, it is a king's duty to enlighten his subjects. You are welcome to try and stop me if you wish. Besides, you're the ones responsible for defending this nation, are you not? Come then, let us battle. The future hangs in the balance. Should Moebius awaken as he is now, adepts all over the world will transform into primal dragons. No matter what happens to you, Gunvolt, his awakening cannot be avoided. Therefore, is it not our duty to ensure that the future takes the best possible path?
I know you have no reason to trust Sumeragi. That's why we'll change it from the inside.
Such a leisurely pace. The world is on the precipice of destruction. I know your past, Gunvolt. You once chose a single girl over the fate of the world, putting this country in danger. I thought you, of all people, would understand my position.
Yeah?
Strong.
I still worry about the decisions I made back then. I still wonder if I could have found a better solution.
Rex Caliber! Over here! Out of the way!
It doesn't matter how long it takes to reach the right answer. That's exactly what my Radiant Fetters is for. My Septima isn't one that creates solutions, but it can buy time better than any other. Whether it's an Octima or a mighty ruler, I'll show you that my fetters can put them on ice for decades to come.
That's quite a big claim. But even in that case, the world still rests upon the shoulders of a single person. The result is the same.
I'm just the one sealing him away and buying the time we need to get a better result. We need everyone working together for the future.
Zed, the power of Moebius has entranced you, trapping you in the possible world right before your eyes.
When countless people work together, their knowledge and efforts, setbacks and failures, and even the tiny things no one notices, together, they can accomplish anything.
Even if it's for a better world, the threads of history cannot be spun by a single man. Look past the magic in front of you, and believe in the hope people create themselves.
I give up. You optimists are too much. I have no idea where you find such childish ideas. If you truly believe all that, show me your conviction. We'll determine here and now just whose ideals are the strongest. Illuminate the world, Golden Trillion. Shine your light upon the non-believers.
Looks like we have no choice. Keating, we must stop him.
Right. Zed, I'll never accept that suffocating world of yours. We'll seal it away forever with our Radiant Fetters. Here I come!
Swords of the King! Now, we can really begin. Over here! This is where we part. Legitima Futura! Authority of the Crown. Carve into the earth. And so, the world shall be reborn!
I'll protect you!
I'll smash you!
Wings of Death! Fortress Flow! Now, time to leave the nest!
Too slow!
Over here! Swords of the King! Scorch the earth! Rex Caliber!
Too slow!
That's right. I can't lose here, can I? Fortress Flow! My little ones, light the skies! Over here! Take flight! Out of the way! Look alive! Now, time to leave the nest! Far too slow! Here I come!
Let's go! GB! Hidden 90-second run! Divine Ruin Heresy!
I underestimated your fetters. Is this really it?
Zed, your ideals are too extreme. Since you've only seen our country from the outside, you all may not realize this, but Sumeragi is more than just its bad parts. They've supported this country for hundreds of years. When something goes wrong, if we work together, talk it out, and really think it through, we can find a solution. Sometimes they make mistakes, and there have been plenty of failures, but we have always been able to get through them in the end. With enough time, I'm sure we can even do something about Moebius.
Well, it was pretty bad that they kept Moebius a secret, even from Shadow Yakumo.
True, but part of that was a failure on our side to properly supervise them. I'm gonna rip the top brass a new one when I get back. For now, I have to do something about Moebius. We can talk it out with you guys later, okay? It's never too late to talk, even after a fight.
Not again!
Huh? This is even more power than when GV awakened! Oh crap! The glaives can't handle this much!
What's happening? No, it can't be. Our battle. The power of our Septimas clashing was enough to awaken Moebius. Was that the trigger?
The battle between Zed and I triggered his awakening?
What an awful place for this to happen! The effects of his power are gonna start spreading really fast!
Zed already used all his power during our battle. It's up to Kirin and I to finish this!
We gotta put a stop to Moebius and his astral order.
The battle between Zed and I triggered his awakening?
What an awful place for this to happen! The effects of his power are gonna start spreading really fast!
Zed already used all his power during our battle. It's up to Kirin and I to finish this!
We gotta put a stop to Moebius and his astral order.
GB! Kieran! This is really bad news! The world's adepts will all turn into primal dragons at this rate!
Things are even worse than that. Astral Order's power will plunge the world into chaos!
No! Damn it! Our Djinn was supposed to have his consciousness under our control! An Octima is no mere power. It's a force of nature. A Septima could never stand a chance against it.
That's why I'll seal Moebius away with my fetters.
Your power may have been able to seal away those primal dragons. But do you think it stands a chance against an Octima?
We won't know until we try. Let's go, GB.
You're right. Let's do this!
What an insane amount of energy!
Our soul isn't stuck. Here and now, this world is finished. We have no one left to count on but you two. You must do whatever you can to stop Moebius.
We don't need you to tell us that.
I won't let this world succumb to his power. We're the ones who awaken the Primal Dragon's ruler. And the Dragon Saviors will be the ones to stop him!
We need to get him back to sleep. Dragon King, who brings despair to our world. Allow my fetters to return you to where you belong. Your fate is sealed. Eat this. You're finished. Got you. Got you. Eat this. You're finished. Eat this. We can do this! I can seal Moebius away if we keep this up!
What? My fetters were broken? Don't touch her!
GB!
No! Ah! We can't lose you now!
GB!
My body is getting... Stay away from me!
He's taken over. The Azure Striker? Moebius is capable of absorbing other primal dragons?
Kirin! You must kill me!
What?
Take your sword and me, along with Astral Order.
What are you saying, GV?
My body has already been corrupted by Moebius. I can't disobey him. Moebius has also shown us he can release your radiant fetters. We only have one option left.
No, GV, I can't do that! We just said we were going to work together with everyone. We decided that together!
I'm so sorry, Kitty. But this is the only way to stop Astral Order.
Is there really no other way?
I won't have any regrets if you're the one who takes me down. Kidding! Kill me!
No regrets, my ass! I absolutely refuse to do that! You have so much work left to do, GV. We can't afford to let Moebius die either!
It wasn't so bad. Spending my days making amends with you and the Dragon Saviors. It's a shame I couldn't see it through to the end. But I'm satisfied, leaving things up to you.
Enough already with that bullcrap!
Kidding?
Any partner of mine should show some more guts. I thought the Azure Striker was the strongest Septimus. Even without my fetters, we're still a team. I can do something about both you and Moebius.
I swear,
Don't
you
give
really
up.
are something else.
Too slow!
Kidding? No!
Let's go! Gunvolt! 90-second right! Divine Ruin Arc!
This is my limit! Oversurge? I can't control it! Astral Order! Azure Striker!
What is this space? Gotcha! Eat this! Gotcha!
You must keep on fighting!
What is this song?
Shall bestow upon you the power of the Djinn and Golden Trillion. With this, you should be able to put up a fight against Astral Order. We caused a great amount of harm by leading Moebius here and hastening his awakening. Didn't have faith in you. Or anyone. Let this be the first step towards atonement.
You aren't all bad, huh? GB, just enjoy it a little bit longer. King of Dragons who makes a plaything of fate. My fetters will end your tyranny. Your fate is sealed.
I'm sorry. I can't. Octis! Bento! You must survive!
Don't give up! You're finished! Let's go! Gunvolt! 90-second right! Divine Ruin Arc!
Even his consciousness has. He is no longer Gunvolt.
Well done, Keating.
You're back to normal!
Yes. You managed to extinguish the Octima and release Astral Order's hold on the world.
Yeah, I'm sorry, GB. I couldn't do anything at all.
It's fine. You shouldn't worry about it. If I survived here, that fated ruin I saw would inevitably come to pass. This is for the best. I'll leave the rest to you.
Is Moebius really such a bad boy?
What's gotten into you all of a sudden? I guess if you think about it, none of the other primal dragons were rampaging with truly bad intentions. You have a point, Lumen. We can't say for sure that he's bad.
Right. Also, it seemed like he had no idea what to do after he observed you, GB.
A baby primal dragon, huh? I wonder if there's something we can do for him.
By the way, Apollo.
What's the matter?
How about you and I train here together?
I have other matters to attend to. I'm surprised you noticed I work out, though.
Looking at you, it's pretty obvious.
You think so? I figure everything you do starts with yourself. Sometimes it's better to train your body, and other times your mind.
I'll leave those other times to you. I don't think I'm cut out for thinking.
That in itself is wisdom, I suppose. I know I can count on you when the time comes, Cayman.
You bet!
GB, Kieran, this is really bad news. The world's adepts will all turn into primal dragons at this rate.
Things are even worse than that. Astral Order's power will plunge the world into chaos.
No!
Damn it! Our Djinn was supposed to have his consciousness under our control. An Octima is no mere power. It's a force of nature. A Septima could never stand a chance against it.
That's why I'll seal Moebius away with my fetters.
Your power may have been able to seal away those primal dragons. But do you think it stands a chance against an Octima?
We won't know until we try. Let's go, GV.
You're right. Let's do this!
What an insane amount of energy!
Ashford Water isn't stopped. Here and now, this world is finished. We have no one left to count on but you two. You must do whatever you can to stop Moebius.
We don't need you to tell us that.
I won't let this world succumb to his power. We're the ones who awaken the primal dragon's ruler. And the dragon saviors will be the ones to stop him.
We need to get him back to sleep. Dragon King, who brings despair to our world. Allow my fetters to return you to where you belong. Your fate is sealed. You're finished. Easy peasy. Take this. We can do this! I can seal Moebius away if we keep this up!
What? My fetters were broken? Don't touch her!
GB!
No! Ah! We can't lose you now!
GB!
My body is getting... Stay away from me!
He's taken over. The Azure Striker? Moebius is capable of absorbing other primal dragons?
Kirin! You must kill me!
What?
Take your sword and me, along with Astral Order.
What are you saying, GV?
My body has already been corrupted by Moebius. I can't disobey him. Moebius has also shown us he can release your radiant fetters. We only have one option left.
No, GV, I can't do that. We just said we were going to work together with everyone. We decided that together.
I'm so sorry, Kitty. But this is the only way to stop Astral Order.
Is there really no other way?
I won't have any regrets if you're the one who takes me down. Kidding! Kill me!
No regrets, my ass! I absolutely refuse to do that! You have so much work left to do, GV. We can't afford to let Moebius die either!
It wasn't so bad. Spending my days making amends with you and the Dragon Saviors. It's a shame I couldn't slip through to the end. But I'm satisfied, leaving things up to you.
Enough already with that bull crap!
Kitty?
Any partner of mine should show some more guts. I thought the Azure Striker was the strongest Septima. Even without my fetters, we're still a team. I can do something about both you and Moebius.
I swear, you really are something. I can't control it! Astral Order! Yes.
Kitty! What is this space? Ah!
You must keep on fighting!
What is this song?
I shall bestow upon you the power of the Djinn and a golden trillion. With this, you should be able to put up a fight against Astral Order. We caused a great amount of harm by leaving Moebius here and hastening his awakening. Didn't have faith in you. Or anyone. Let this be the first step towards atonement.
You aren't all bad, huh? GV, just enjoy it a little bit longer. King of Dragons who makes a plaything of fate. My fetters will end your tyranny. Your fate is sealed!
Kitty, no! This is my limit! I'm sorry! I can't! Octano! You must survive!
I'll protect you!
Gideon, you'll really never give up.
Take this! Huh? What's going on? GV! Weeks have passed since that day. The newly awakened Octima disappeared, along with the Azure Striker, and the world is safe for now. Atemza's attack and Moebius's existence went public, and now Sumeragi is cleaning up the mess. Even my group, Shadow Yakumo, has its hands full dealing with everything. Primal dragons are still appearing everywhere in the aftermath of Moebius's awakening, just as Zed predicted. As for Zed, Atemz reached an agreement with Sumeragi and returned to their home country. They probably have enough on their plate taking care of their own country's primal dragons. As for us...
I'm detecting a new primal dragon in the sky, above 3rd Avenue. Yikes! It looks like a real tough one. Sensei, can you take care of it?
Negative. I'm already dueling one on 2nd Avenue.
Guess it's my turn to step up to the plate.
BB, you just need to keep it occupied. Don't do anything rash.
Okie dokie, artichokey.
Kidding. The target in the underground mall has been suppressed, requesting a seal. I'm moving to back up BB.
Got it. I'll be right there. Shiron, I need directions.
Hell yeah! Understood!
Gunvolt, I'll never let the bond we shared be in vain. I'll secure the future of this world with my radiant fetters!
Welcome back! I know you just got back, but I have good news for you. Each stage now has a hard mode unlocked. All the bosses have been seriously powered up. However, you have a better chance of earning rare image pulses when you clear the mission. You might even get an image pulse you've never seen before. If you want a chance to show off your skills, there's no better time than now. There are some other changes too, like only having a certain amount of max health. For more details, check out the help section. There's also a mode perfect for Cayman. I mean, any real tough cookies out there. A very hard mode, if you will. Don't sweat it if that seems like too much, but any die-hard kudos hunters should give it a shot. Thanks for sticking with me this far. I'll see you again soon.
Cayman, do you know where Kirin and GV are?
They got a request from the Peacekeepers a little while ago. Sounds like they're up against an adept who I would be a bad match for.
You're kidding. I thought I told everyone they need to report any outings to the entire Bureau.
There's really no helping some folks.
You're always disappearing to go train somewhere too, you know. You need to pull more weight around here.
I wanted to, but my weight set off the alarms in the elevator.
On second thought, just forget I said anything.
Apollo, you have a minute?
What is it?
I just got this bonkers jigsaw puzzle from another department. It is one tough cookie.
I thought it'd be nice if we could all work on it together.
You're too much. But I suppose I can help. What about you, Kirin and GV?
I still have work to do on today's report.
I'll have to pass. Paws aren't exactly beneficial for doing puzzles.
You two are no fun. Well, if you can spare some time, feel free to help. It'll be more fun together, even if you just watch.
Let's think of a place to hang it when we're finished.
A jigsaw puzzle, huh? I did one with Quinn once.
Why the long face, GV?
Oh, nothing. Just thinking about something. Don't worry about me.
If you say so.